So the question is, lost in where life is going. Now, knowing what direction to go in is a very, very common problem many of us experience. Here's the problem. Do we follow the money? Do we follow the educational path set before us? Do we take the easy route and follow security? See, now, with all these options, it's no surprise that we get lost. Many of us have passion, but will that passion pay the bills? Some of us are born into difficult situations, which means it's much harder to follow what makes us happy. Some of us are yet to discover what makes us happy. See, this is a question only you can find the answer to. Ask yourself these questions. What do you enjoy? What makes you feel comfortable? What is important to you? See, having a 9-to-5 job brings security. And if you have a family and you find happiness by providing for them and being given the financial support and freedom to live this lifestyle, that brings you happiness. This could also apply with a lifestyle you live with your friends or, people in your life. I think there's a misconception that a 9-to-5 is always a bad thing and, if you're trapped in the 9-to-5, you're locked into this way of life. But really, it's what brings you happiness. If you find that 9-to-5 or that way of life that you're living gives you something which then you can give to others, whether that's time, whether that's money, whether that's advice or what you're learning, and you're finding you're very happy through this, then that's okay. That's good. It means that you're on the right path. But if you have a 9-to-5 job you hate, then at least you're one step forward in knowing this, because then you know that you have a desire and you're not fulfilling it. Now, like I said, there is no wrong or right answer. We're all completely different. We're all unique. As they say, different courses for different horses, There's no right or wrong answer. But when it comes to finding happiness, we must remember that happiness is not a destination. It's a way of life. See, in life, we get so hung up on finding the key that what we forget is that really it's about opening the door. The key is just a small device that helps unlock the door. Really, what you should be looking for is the door, and what's behind the door, taking the steps to opening it and seeing what's important behind that door. And that door is within you. Every one of us have that door. Some of us may unlock it and some of us may have already seen what's behind that door. And I tell you, when you find it and when you see it and when you act on it, you never look back. You only look forward to every day from here on in. Of course, many of us are still searching for the key, but we're forgetting about the door. The key just opens the door. Like I said, it's what's behind the door that you need to find. Now, if we just take a step back and zoom out from what we're talking about here now and look at the first real step, and the question is, can you recognize if you are lost? If you think you are, and if you believe you are, like I said, you're one step further. See, there's many people out there, probably some of you watching this video, going through life, knowing something just isn't quite right. There's a burning feeling and you can't quite put your finger on why you feel this burning feeling deep within us that feels like we're not content. There's a life that we envisioned and we're not living it. We can go through life knowing something just isn't right. But if we ignore that feeling and keep going further, we will only be taking steps backwards and not forwards. Life can bring us into unhappy or unfortunate circumstances, which can bring lots of unbalanced feelings. Family pressures, job pressures, relationship pressures, health pressures for yourself or anyone around you. We all have different obstacles and they're not easy to jump over. But if you have faith and belief, you will overcome and make a change. Like I said, it may be harder for others, but nothing is impossible. I promise you this. In fact, I guarantee it. If we look at J.K. Rowling, for example, the great author of Harry Potter and a whole bunch of other books, she's a shining example of someone with great faith and belief. Just to give you a brief idea of her story, when she was 17, she was rejected from college. Okay, that's not too bad. We've all been there. At 25 years old, her mother passed away. That's a huge blow. That's a big figure in your life, and to lose that at 25 is a huge blow to the mind, the heart, the soul, everything. At the age of 26, a year later, she fell pregnant and sadly she suffered a miscarriage. Unfortunately, was in a very abusive marriage and by the age of 28 was diagnosed with severe depression. When she was 30, she was suicidal and a single parent, which is extremely difficult, and constantly being surrounded by this negative knock after knock after knock is enough for anyone to just, throw the towel in. Which by the time she was 30, she actually was suicidal and was diagnosed with severe depression. But at 30, something changed. She decided to channel all this energy, albeit it was negative, but she decided to channel it into something positive. And of course, I'm sure we can all guess what happens next. She channeled her energy into writing, her passion of creation. Of course, this was a talent which she had for a long time, and she obviously exercised this throughout her life and knew that she quite enjoyed it because writing and exercising this creative muscle was her escape. She was able to write about all kinds of things and really escape her own life. And many of us have a creative passion, and some of us have one and we don't know what it is yet, but we all have something. There's not one single person walking this earth of sane mind who can say, nope, I have no talents, I have nothing, because everyone has something. Now, by the time she was 31, she released her first book, which, of course, given her circumstances, was an amazing achievement. Now, if we fast forward 10 years to another release of her books, on the first day of release, these books sold 11 million copies. Now, if we use J.K. Rowling as an example, all the obstacles she faced in the early period of her life, had she not had the core strength and the ability to channel that energy into something positive, we wouldn't be graced with Harry Potter, all 6 or 7 or however many of the books and films there are. I mean, it's become one of the biggest books in the world. See, what I really like about this example is if we just forget about the financial success it brought J.K. Rowling and focus on what she did, exercising her creative muscle, her passion in life. I think exercising that creative muscle, exercising a passion, or even if you're not creating, you're watching a sport, you're feeding your brain with endorphins, enjoying something you enjoy. Whether that is watching a particular sport, listening to a type of music, reading a type of book, meditating, yoga, exercise, whatever it is, doing these things as often as possible is extremely important because it brings happiness. As long as it's balanced, you'll level out that kind of negative and harder feelings, and you'll find you'll get more clarity. And with clarity, that brings direction, because then you can see the path in front of you. You get a better idea of what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, where you want to go, where you don't want to go. I mean, the same goes for great examples like Oprah Winfrey and James Dyson, the famous inventor of the Dyson Hoover. Musicians, there's many people out there who are great inspiration and have inspiring stories. I mean, the worst is when you hear that classic, oh, it's okay for you, but then you think, well, why is that? Like I said, we all have obstacles, but understanding what truly makes you happy is where you need to focus your efforts. It could be career-based, it could be travel-based, it could be to exercise that creative muscle that you keep suppressed. It could be making people around you happy, and that could be what makes you happy. Like I said, happiness is not a destination, it's a way of life. It's what you do every day, finding something that makes you happy, which then propels you into giving you clarity in what direction you'd like to go down. I want you to take some time, ask yourself what makes your heart glow. Have faith in yourself and your belief. Believe me, the answer is there within you. Just need to find that key and unlock that door and open that door. Figure out what is behind that door. And once you get that key, you better kick that goddamn door down. Thanks for listening, and I'm sending you all big hugs and lots of positive vibes. And believe in yourself. You can do it, and you will do it if you believe and you have faith. Thanks again, and subscribe and share this video with anyone if it's helped you in any way at all, and comment in the section below and let me know your thoughts. Thanks again, and have a great day.